Get stacked.
Triple threat.
Expected value. Now take what you learn, go out there, and get stacked.
What up, Gripsters and random YouTubers? Evan here for Grips.com, and welcome to the main event. We are heads up for the title of Friday Challenge Victor. We already know who's gonna win, but it's gonna be pretty cool to see just how he did it. This is Edvin Net Worth 1 on playing heads up against Crazy Fish Cakes and winning $5,700 US. Just before I get into the play, I want to give you a quick reminder that if you liked what you saw this series and are interested in trying out a new poker site, that there's a link in the description for 888poker. 888poker, where we play different. I think this video speaks for itself in terms of what kind of action you can expect, and I think it explained what they mean on the commercials when they say they play different. The other benefit is that the fields are much smaller than PokerStars, which makes the tournaments that much more winnable, but there are still a ton of satellite qualifiers run for these challenge tourneys, which run 7 days a week, so I really encourage you to check them out if you like money. And if you like a good show, then this is for you. We are currently playing heads up against our opponent, whatever 88, who has been pretty erratic, pretty spastic to this point. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of rhyme or reason to his actions. He just clicks the pot button or the 3/4 pot button and then clicks bet. And Edvin puts the pressure on, turns the screws in a little bit and takes that one down with the 2-barrel. We've seen that he's been leading quite a fair bit, but that it's not usually all that strong. The only time we saw a really strong lead was earlier on the final table, but that was a lead for min. None of his 3/4 pot or pot leads have turned out to be that strong that we've seen. Unfortunately, for the most part, we're having a pretty hard time making a hand, and it's pretty tough to play back at your opponent when you don't make anything. Here we peel the c-bet with a gutter. It's a board, whatever is going to be c-betting a lot, and once the turn goes check, check, we definitely need to be betting with this hand. We bet with the strongest hands we can have. We also need to bet with the worst hands we can have. There's no way we're going to win this pot at a showdown. So the less showdown value, the more you have to be betting. We talked about this a little bit last part with whatever checking back is 9-10 high. We don't do that because we actually have half a clue as to what we're doing. He's just one of them, button clickers. And ooh, that's a straight. Time to call down. Slow play, slow play, slow play. There is some temptation to raise here to build the pot, but he just probably doesn't have that strong of a hand, and we need to feign weakness so that we can get that 3rd barrel out of him on the river, whether he has a hand or not. If we raise the turn, we'll get that 3rd barrel if he has a hand, but if we just call, we're going to get it anyway on the river. And we flop the joint. It's heads up. Club comes, we don't care. And the pot's still pretty big. Yeah, it might be tough to get all in by the river, but when you're playing against a super fish and you actually get this beautiful 9 on the river, you can expect to get called by a king here, even though we're shoving for more than pot. And whatever snaps it off, king x of 8, idiot end of the straight. Well, story checks out. We are playing with an idiot, and he's calling over shoves with the bottom end of a straight. Would he have called a raise earlier on? I don't know, but the amount of value that we were able to get on that hand is insane. And I think now that we're here, we should be able to close this thing out. It's 10 suited. We're pretty shallow now. 15 bigs. Easy reshove. Oh. All right. Back to the drawing board. So I think that's the second time we've got cooler now heads up. It's going to be worth keeping track of because I think if it weren't for all the coolers, Edvin would have crushed this guy real fast. But now we're playing a pretty basic pusher fold strategy. We've got under 15 big blinds, and until we can get back to 20 blinds or so, we're just going to be open shoving with hands we think we can profitably open shove, folding the ones that we don't think we can profitably open shove, and reshoving out of position. With the hands that flop really well, min raising is also an option. So Queen Jack could definitely be shoved. Then we wouldn't have to deal with this. But ooh, I like it. Maybe we're welcoming dealing with this. Maybe we're excited to deal with this. Because what 10 is he going to lead out with like this? He just is full of it here. He's just not going to have a hand. So I love the bluff raise. It's a pot size bet. We probably have outs if called. Like if he actually has a value hand, it's like 4s, but he would have shoved that in pre-flop. So yeah, he just never has anything. And we get a huge bet out of him with no showdown. That's an extra 4 big blinds post-flop. And just about right back to being even stacked. Very well read by Edvin. And this is why I told you about that read we had on his lead-outs, that they're just not typically all that strong. And the strategy seemed to have been that Edvin was waiting for a hand to capitalize. But a couple of times he was like, it is just so unlikely for this guy to have anything. And he's probably folding to a raise like 95% of the time. It just doesn't matter what I have. And that's kind of the case when it comes to fold equity. Great spot to slow play, by the way. Just let him fire off the barrels. And actually with the open ender on the turn, and there being no real bad river cards for our hand, I think checking back would have been a fine option here. What card are we afraid of? Nothing. And whatever might make that hero call we saw him make earlier with the King 10. He's a blue fish. Whereas we haven't seen him call too many turn bets. But yeah, when you were like super confident your opponent's going to fold, your hand just doesn't matter. And that's where reads are so useful, because when your reads are on point, when you have a good feel for how your opponent's playing, as Edvin is clued in here, cards just don't matter anymore. You don't need to wait for hands. You can just pick spots and chip up that way. And when you get cards, that's just icing on the cake. That's extra benefit to make things easier. Here, I feel like whatever's probably full of it again, and we probably could have taken it down with a shove, but it's just pretty high risk. And at this point, in terms of how many chips we're risking, at this point we have the chip lead. Again, we're comfortable. Probably just want to grind him down with this small ball strategy. We've seen Edvin mix in a couple of 3-bets, which has been nice. And that is not a good river at all for 67. It's about as bad as it gets. We beat diamonds. And that's about it. Okay, pretty wet, pretty connected board. No need to lead out at that one. King 10, I think we could have gone either way with this. Definitely could have gone for the slow play and checked it back. But as we discussed earlier, when in doubt between betting and checking, just bet small and get the best of both worlds. I think with that particular hand, our showdown value is so good, and whatever is shown, he's capable of taking a few stabs here and there, that we should have gone for the slow play. And here we just have the worst hand we can have. We can fold him off some flush draws, maybe some straight draws. Don't expect him to fold a ton of the time, but we definitely need to be betting with the literal worst hand that we can have. Because we ain't going to win by checking back, that's for sure. And what do we risk? 245 to win 600? It's not bad odds. All right, Queen Jack suited, 15 bigs all in, coolered again. All right, so that's 3 coolers now, and we are down 3-1 in chips again, but we'll keep fighting. This time, can we be on the winning side of a cooler? Yes! And more importantly, we see that this guy's raise snap calling. I remember the time the guy snap called with the jack high in this spot. Like, brother, if you want to run it with the jack high, at least shove it in. Don't invite us to come over the top with pocket 2s and king 9s and ace 4s and then snap it off with worse. But hey, to each their own. Let's see what say. Whatever, man. It's just heads up. It's no big deal. We got that lead again. Blinds are up. And whatever is still sticking with his highly aggressive donk betting strategy. Great flop for us, one that is good enough for a slow play. Fortunately, whatever did not connect with the board, and he was not interested in taking any stabs at that pot. Sevens, we're inducing there. We're definitely calling off if we get jammed on. I'm pretty good at this clicking through hand stuff, eh? No extra clicks. Ooh, he's coming at us with the 5x open now. Guess he's getting tired of us. King 2, cool. I think for 20 bigs we could open shove that, but I got ripped a little bit in my last video when talking about open shoving, so maybe I have that wrong. Maybe I need to brush up on my Nash equilibriums. Here it's a similar spot to all the other ones where Edvin's come over the top. It's extremely unlikely that whatever's leading with the real hand here, and with 2 pair, we probably have the best hand, but not interested in letting him see any free cards. And now we got that 3-1 chip lead again. And all we need to do is flop a pair, and we should be able to GG this guy. There we go. Now we're getting that. Oh, now we're getting hands too, and the lead. And oh my God, 4 coolers. And did he trap us? What a genius! Oh man, we've done no shoving over limps. We've been reshoving comfortably over his min raises, and you're like, oh, I finally got it. I'm just gonna trap him. The old Phil Helmuth just limp in play. Yeah, sweet. You got the number 2 high card hand. We got number 3, and we were even suited, so we'll call it a 3+. And back to even. This is a pretty wet board, and we did flop equity with the straight draw, but it's a board that our opponent could definitely check raise, having connected with a lot of pieces. So I like Edvin's approach of seeing a turn card for free, and once we get that double check from our opponent, whatever, we can take it as the green light to go ahead and bet, because he just probably doesn't have much of anything. And then we're even. Amazing odds. Let us catch it. Nope, no pieces. The 5s, easy reshove. I don't think there's an easier play in heads up hold'em 20 BBs and less than getting a pair in the big blind and facing a raise on the button, especially when it's a pair of 10s. And this, oh my God, this guy. That wasn't even, that was 17 big blinds. He just raised again. Snap called with Jack 10. Like, just so ready to run the cards. Just wants to end it. He's willing to take any kind of equity. He's probably just praying we have ace-x. He doesn't even mind if we have ace-kings. Like, give me 30%, man. I just don't know what I'm doing playing heads-up poker. Just give me 30% to end this thing, please. Sorry, bro. You're up against a top shark gripster. And this, hand 703 of 703, looks like it's going to be GG. If you think about what hands he's going to be shoving for 7 big blinds, solid suited king, it's in very good shape. And just like king 8 suited, heads up, is a very high ranking hand. In fact, let's see if my poker stove works. It may be expired. Damn. Wanted to see where king 8 suited ranked in the hand spectrum. Whatever. We can do that some other video. Oh, let's sweat it. Let's sweat it. He's got the jack 8. We got him dumb. We got him dumb. And maybe Edvin went ahead and bought some dom after he got this shipment. 4.305 million in chips, which was good for 5,700 US dollars. Not bad for a $35 investment. Let's check how many buy-ins that is. Oh, you know, about 162. It's a lot of re-entries. It's a lot of replays. That's why it's so important to capitalize on the opportunities when you do make the final tables. You want to go for those wins, but you got to ensure you give yourself the best chance at making the most money, be it by making 3rd place, 5th place, whatever your stack Your position in the field looks like just navigated to try to squeeze the maximum equity out of that situation. I know I tell you guys in the MTT guide, you want to go for first, you want to go for top 3. When you initially register for the tournament, that should be your general approach. But once you get deep, once you get close to the end, that's when you reevaluate what is the most likely outcome and how you can ensure that you make your most likely outcome that which is probably going to be the most profitable for you. It's okay to not go for first once you've made it to the final table, if that's what the stacks sizes dictate. Always be willing to adjust, always be willing to change your approach so that you can get the maximum out of every opportunity that comes your way, increase your pay, get more play. I don't know what else to say. So that's it. We're going to wrap up the series here. And that was fun. I had a lot of fun reviewing this one. I know there's going to be some trolls ripping away at like the Jack 6 suited shove and stuff. But hey, I mean, Edvin had been playing for like 4 or 5 months at this point. And, you know, shallow stacked wasn't his play. But clearly he had that inner Scandi in him that when things got shorthanded, when things got heads up, he was ready to do battle. And I think there was a ton to be learned from that match. And it was really cool watching him never give up, never stop fighting against this unorthodox player, and also being willing to fire it in against yours truly. He did not step down. There was no fear equity in this kid's game. He was ready to go. So just to review, we talked about the value of playing the triple threat, position, aggression, selection, and how if you are playing in tournaments where there is a good mix of weaker players, that you can get away with just following the triple threat and not necessarily taking every single plus EV spot that comes your way. The tougher the fields are, the more you have to take every spot that comes, and the softer the fields are, the more it's okay to pass up on them a little bit in the interest of staying in your comfort zone. Obviously, in a perfect world, you're not going to pass up any edge ever. You're going to be getting involved in every spot where you think you can make chips. But, you know, if you think your 30 BB stack game is kind of meh, or your post-flop game is kind of meh, then it's okay to pass up on some spots that would put you in an uncomfortable position where you're likely to make a mistake just out of sheer confusion and discomfort. And that's why I really encourage you to try out 888, try out iPoker, try out microgaming, try out all the sites involved in the Lucky 7 promotion. The reason that I chose those sites for this promotion was so that you can expose yourself to different player pools, different fish ponds, and expand your capabilities for making money. I acknowledge, and I think there's no debate on this, that PokerStars has the best poker software online, but it doesn't mean it's going to be the easiest place for you to build your bankroll. So I hope you can incorporate some stuff in your game from this series that will help you increase your winnings on the poker tables. We talked a lot about reshoving, and we talked about the importance of adjusting to your stack size and adjusting to the stack size of your opponent. It's all about just paying attention to all those variables and being willing to adjust to situations. It's about not locking yourself into one decision as soon as you get your cards and being impulsive about it. We saw a really sweet fold with jacks in a spot where at first, you know, when those cards get dealt, it's like, yes, jacks, I'm good to go. I'm excited. I'm ready. On this stack size, there's no way I'm ever folding this hand. But then situations change. And information changes situations. But it's important for you to actually take in that information and use it and filter it and adjust your decisions and not be hard-headed and not be stuck in your ways. Or else you're not going to be making the most out of every opportunity, and you'll find yourself repeating the same mistakes over and over, wondering why you aren't achieving success. And it's because if you aren't open to feedback and if you aren't open to the opinions of others, you're just going to assume that what you're doing is right even if it's wrong, and you're going to continue to do it, and you're just going to continue to make that same mistake that's holding you back, thinking that you're doing the right thing. I mean, that's why you'll be oblivious and not be able to figure out why it's working. Keep your ears open, listen, take it in, process it, and you will develop really fast. Just Don't be self-conscious about it. Don't be defensive about it. If someone in our community tells you something, it's because they want to help you improve. So come to it with an open mind and open ears if you want to get the most out of your experience here. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please don't be shy. Post away in the comments section and let's get the discussion flowing. And I guess this video is going to be coming out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. I'll release it early. I was going to release this Saturday, but I'm going to release it Friday night so I can give you guys the reminder that today, Free Money Friday, June the 13th, I'm going to be streaming all day. I'm going to get up around 12 o'clock my time and 1 o'clock my time. I'm firing up the stream. That's somewhere between 5, 6, 7 o'clock Euro time. It's 10 o'clock on the West Coast, and in Australia, well, it's 3 in the morning, so I don't expect y'all to make it out, but if you do, cool. I'm going to be playing the Lucky 7 games. I'm going to be playing some home games on PokerStars, and I'm going to be streaming the whole thing live so you can battle me. I'm going to be giving away some t-shirts, so wherever you got a bankroll, you can play and you can be on the show. And if you really want to get the most out of it, get some money on all those sites so you can play in all the events. Start racking up those leaderboard points and give yourself an opportunity to win 1% of my action in the World Series of Poker main event this summer, 2014. And when you've done all that, when you've taken care of everything and you're ready, you know exactly what to do. Take what you've learned, go out there, and get stacking.
Yeah, we get it stacking. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. The flops I be smashing, the pots I be blasting. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. When the main event, man, that could never happen. The Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. Now you're picking up traction, getting action. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking.
Stack it up, cash it in, damn I win again. Many friends come to play, cause I'm on the internet. Better yet, I flop the turn and take a chance upon the river. I'll bluff you with the 7-2 offsuit, whatever's clever, call you all in while your chip stacks falling. Better believe the dealer, cause the game just started. Don't know the rules, you bet it all and then you risk it. If you wanna learn it, you should go online and hit up Grips it.
Yeah, we get it stacking. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. The flops I be smashing, the pots I be blasting. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. When the main event, man, that could never happen. The Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. Now you're picking up traction, getting action. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. Ever since a young cat, wanna pocket stack with cash in the fast stack, crammed in the clam clip. Gotta get the action, gotta get it stacking. Dollars on the noggin, want a lot of transactions. Started as a little retarded, now with the knowledge, playing cards, flopping, bombarded, cause it was harder than I thought. Then I got on Grips.com, asking and got what I needed to beat him and get it stacking. Yeah, we get it stacking. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. The flops I be smashing, the pots I be blasting. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. When the main event, man, that could never happen. The Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. Now you're picking up traction, getting action. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. Yeah, we get it stacking. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. The flops I be smashing, the pots I be blasting. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. When the main event, man, that could never happen. The Grips.com taught you how to get stacking. Now you're picking up traction, getting action. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. Yeah, we get it stacking. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. The flops I be smashing, the pots I be blasting. Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking. When the main event, man, that could never happen. The Grips.com taught you how to get it stacking.